Good morning. My name is Nick Young of the Health and Safety Department of the United Steelworkers. We would like to thank you for taking time to attend this somber but important ceremony honoring Workers' Memorial Day. Workers' Memorial Day is a day for working people and union siblings to pay tribute to those who have been hurt, killed on the job, or died from occupational illness. Every worker death is a tragedy. Workers killed or injured on the job represents a family shattered, dreams extinguished, and potential loss. There is never a time when workplace safety issues should take a back seat to any workplace issue. Never has that been truer than it is today, as the world is dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID pandemic has exposed major gaps in worker safety protections and rights. It also prevents us from gathering safely in person as we would in the past. But it won't stop us from memorializing our steelworker siblings and other workers, as we have more than just USW members being killed, injured, and made ill on the job. In many ways, this is the biggest Workers' Memorial Week our movement has ever planned. While all other workplace-related injuries, illnesses, and fatalities still persist, millions of people have contracted COVID at work, and the public's eye are finally on occupational health and safety. On April 28, 1971, Congress passed the Occupational Safety and Health Act, promising every worker the right to a safe job. Unions and our allies have fought hard to make that promise a reality on winning protections that have made jobs safer and prevented millions of workplace injuries and illnesses. This year's Workers' Memorial Day, April 28th, will be OSHA's 50th anniversary. The OSH Act promised workers in the U.S. a safe job. Even after 50 years, many job hazards are unregulated and uncontrolled. Employers are still cutting corners and violating the law. Workers who report job hazards or job injuries are still being fired or disciplined. Employees contract out dangerous work to try to avoid the responsibility. As a result, each year, thousands of workers are killed and millions more are injured or diseased because of their jobs. There is new hope with a new administration to strengthen workers' rights to a safe job. But we as members of the labor movement must continue to ensure that all workers have the necessary protections from COVID-19 at work. Pass the PRO Act to ensure workers have a voice on the job and the right to freely form a union without employer interference or intimidation. Increase efforts to protect the safety and health of Black, Latino, and immigrant workers who are disproportionately affected and especially targeted for speaking up against unsafe working conditions. Increase the job safety budgets and improve job safety enforcement. Winning new protections on workplace violence, silica exposure in mining, heat illness, and exposure to asbestos and other toxic chemicals and hazards. And finally, we must defend hard-won safety and health protections and workers' rights. As we remember our fallen brothers and sisters, we take today to recommit our activism and efforts to create safer workplaces for the future by mourning for the dead and continuing to fight like hell for the living. Solidarity now and solidarity forever. Doug Ward from our Education and Membership Development Department will be singing to kick off our program today.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Oh, brother, 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 there are far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some light here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. See, war is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Oh, we get light and we get signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Well, talk to me so you can see what's going on. time. Don't punish me with brutality. Come on and talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Picket lines, wicked signs. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me. You can talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We really have to figure out what's going on in the world today. In the world today.
Thank you, Doug. It is now my distinct honor to introduce our International President, Tom Conway.
Hi, my name's Tom Conway. I'm the president of Steelworkers. And I want to spend some time with you today because, we're celebrating Workers' Memorial Day, and it's really a sad day if you think about it, and the year that we've got behind us right now and what we have ahead of us. And it's an important time for us to think about where we are as workers in this country and where we're going in the future. 50 years ago, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration was founded, and OSHA's been a crucial tool to workers, not just union workers, workers everywhere, in order to try and have a safe and healthy workplace when they go to work. And for the last year, we've had workers going into workplaces and inhaling a virus that has killed nearly 600,000 Americans. And we need OSHA to pass a standard that we can enforce, that we can work with, that makes employers who won't keep a safe workplace, that forces them to do that, and that we have some teeth and some law to bring that about. And so you try not to allow these things to become political, but in fact they are political. And when people are going to work and they're struggling and they're dying on a job and their jobs are killing them, and it's happening in healthcare, it's happening across all our sectors, people are going in and being exposed, we need to do something about it. And no one else is going to do it if we don't do it for ourselves. If labor doesn't step up and have this fight, it certainly isn't coming from the Chamber of Commerce, it's not coming from employers, and it's not going to come out of politicians unless they're driven to do it. And so we reach out to you often to help, to step up, to do something, and this is a day that you can. When you're asked to intervene, when you're asked to send a letter, when you're asked to do some protest, to take some steps about what's going on in the workplace, we don't have to sit back and accept this. We have to do something different going forward. And it's not just COVID. Many of us work in very dangerous workplaces. And on average, our union loses about 33 members a year who are killed on the job. And last year, we had 23 But if you think about it, we had a lot of shut down workplaces. So for our union, it's a very relevant problem. People are getting killed and injured on the job with some really horrible injuries, and that's without COVID. And so nothing's more important than being able to go to work and not get yourself hurt or not get yourself killed on the job. And the best advantage for dealing with that is to have a union in your workplace. And if you're in a union, be part of it, drive it, build your union through health and safety. Our members understand that, and they understand the power of working together collectively and pushing employers to do the right thing. But there are a lot of people in this country without a union who would like one. 65% of the country says they would join a union if they could. And right now there's a piece of legislation moving forward called the PRO Act. And it's about a union's right to organize and for people to be able to join and form a union and gain the protections they need and to gain this sort of stability and security of being able to legally join together and go to their employer and press their demands on not only just wages and economics and benefits, but on making sure that where they work is safe for them and they're going to go home to their families. So this year, we're going to memorialize the people who we lost last year, the members who died on the job, and the members who are going to work every day and struggling. We're going to be looking to the future. What's it going to look like with this virus? Is this a once and done thing? Are we going to come out of this eventually and everything's going to be fine? Or are we going to need to do this periodically like the flu shots? Is this virus or its variants going to be around? So our union is taking a position and urging all our members, get this shot. Don't get lulled into this story about this is a hoax and it's not real. This is very real, and this is something we need to work with together to make sure that together in our workplaces we are safe and that you're not sitting next to someone who has this virus, who's infected, and you're faced with the prospect of breathing it in. We wouldn't go into a gaseous operation and think, well, I'll just breathe in what they have and accept it that way. And we can't accept that on this virus either. So, look, we have some future safety and health issues, and many of them now center around this pandemic and this virus, and together we can get through them if we work at it together. But this is an important holiday for the labor movement, for unions, for your union, and those of you who see this video, use this opportunity. Step forward. Do something this year. Help organize. Help do something to pull your co-workers and members together. Strengthen your union. Join with us on this PRO Act. Let's get other people the right to have a union and be able to confront their employer, and together we'll move forward. So, look, stay safe out there, look out for each other, and be careful. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, President Conway. Up next, please welcome Yasina Alfaro and Juan Zuniga of our Health, Safety, and Environment Department to recite the poem, The Fallen Worker, in both English and Spanish.
The Fallen Worker. Today, this workers' memorial, we think of you with sympathy as we grasp the finality of your death. We grieve for all that you have lost, family, friends, and coworkers too. We grieve for everything you left to do. We grieve for the goodbyes you did not get to say. And we grieve for not being able to prevent your passing this way. Albeit, with a heavy heart, we vow to honor your death as we continue to fight for all fallen workers and those yet to fall. When we think we are too tired to fight, when we think change will never come, when we think there's nothing left to do, we will use your name and your death to invigorate our fighting spirit so we can continue to fight the Steelworkers way. And that is and will always be one day longer. But today we humbly memorialize your death as we read your name for everyone to hear. We snuff out a flame representing your light, which burns no more. And we toll the bell for your spirits to be felt forevermore.
Hola, ¿qué tal, hermanos y hermanas de lucha? Hoy quisiera recitarles para ustedes un poema de nuestra hermana Connie Brown, de la local 3657, en memoria del Día del Steelworker caído, y se llama El Trabajador Caído. Hoy, este Día de los Trabajadores Caídos, pensamos con ustedes con simpatía, a medida que comprendemos la finalidad de su muerte. Lamentamos por todo lo que han perdido, familia, amigos y compañeros de trabajo también. Lamentamos por todo lo que han dejado por hacer. Lamentamos por las despedidas que no alcanzaron a decir y nos lamentamos por no poder impedir que se fueran de esta manera. Todo sea con un corazón doliente, juramos honrar su muerte mientras seguimos luchando por todos los trabajadores caídos y los que aún no han caído. Cuando pensamos que estamos demasiado cansados de luchar, cuando pensamos que el cambio nunca llegará y cuando pensamos que no hay nada más que hacer, usaremos sus nombres y sus muertes para vigorizar nuestros espíritus de lucha, para que podamos seguir luchando a la manera de los Steelworkers, y es diciendo, hoy y siempre será un día más, one day longer. Pero hoy humildemente conmemoramos así su muerte. Leemos su nombre para que todos escuchen. Apagamos una llama que representa su luz que ya no arde y hacemos sonar la campana para que tu espíritu se sienta para siempre.
Fran Arabia of USW Local 1196 has a special connection to the bell we ring every year to recognize every member of our union who we have lost at work. Fran is going to share a special story with us, and though the pandemic is keeping us from honoring our siblings in person, we will not let it stop us from honoring them.
On February 5, 2005, Brother John Novick was fatally injured in a rail car accident in Brackenridge, Pennsylvania at the Allegheny Ludlam Corporation. Brother Novick was crushed between two railroad cars as he was riding the lead car. The membership of Local 1196, along with then President Walt Hill, decided to do something in Brother Novick's memory. A bell from a retired locomotive was removed and reconditioned by Gary Moran of the Locomotive Repair Shop and dedicated in 2005. The memorial bell you see here is from the locomotive that was involved in the death of Brother Novick. This memorial bell has been donated to the USW by Local 1196 and the Allegheny Ludlam Corporation, dedicated on September 24, 2013 to Brother Novick and our USW brothers and sisters who have lost their lives in the workplace. The bell has been and will continue to be used to commemorate Workers' Memorial Day to honor our fallen siblings that have lost their lives on the job.
Up next, ERT Director Deronda Pope is one of the first faces that shows up when one of our union families suffers an injury or fatality at work. Not only does her work comfort and aid, but her voice also does as well.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. But now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fear relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed.
And finally, Rachel Nunes of Local 3657 will close out today's program.
Good morning, family. My name is Rachel Nunes, and I am the Financial Secretary and President-elect of United Steelworkers Local 3657. Members of our local work for all of you in the international headquarters in Pittsburgh, the legislative offices in Washington, D.C., and in district offices across the country. I want to thank Nick and Tom for their powerful words and reiterate that we take this time today on Workers' Memorial Day to collectively mourn workers who have lost their lives on the job. We also take this time today to collectively recommit ourselves to the fight for safety on the job for all workers in all workplaces. Now, we are facing big challenges across our union and in our communities, and these challenges may feel insurmountable. But to my fellow local union activists watching, you may be thinking, what can I do? What can I do that will make my workplace safer? What can I do to make a difference? And the answer is to organize and get educated on the issues. You can go to the website, usw.org, to learn more about the PRO Act, as Tom and Nick have talked about earlier today. And you can learn about the host of resources regarding health and safety, stewardship training, and other educational opportunities for members in our union. You can get together, reach out your hand, or approach your coworkers at a safe distance and members of your community to find out what is important to them, what ideas they have, how they might want to get involved. And from there, we get started on working toward change, working toward making our workplaces and communities safer and more connected together. Now, you may doubt yourself, you may doubt the process, but in this union, you never have to walk alone. And when there's a fight, we always have your back. All you have to do is reach out to your coworkers, to your staff rep, and to the members of our union, Local 3657. We always have your back. Again, I want to urge you to not give in to hopelessness. We are steelworkers. We know that in the throes of our toughest fights, our darkest times, that when we organize, when we lift every voice, when we stand together, we can make great strides, big wins, and make a difference. Thank you for your time today, and stay safe out there.